Adelai Brown, your heart coach, and I want to welcome you to Heart Talk with Adelai Brown. I am so excited to be talking with you guys today. As you know, we are on a mission to build heart equity. What is heart equity? Personal, relational, financial wealth through authentic living. And I'm really excited about today. I have some speaking engagements coming up. Shout out to the St. James Presbyterian Women's Ministry. I am the keynote speaker at their event this Saturday, Women of Excellence. And if you are in the Charleston area or near the Charleston area, I encourage you to come by and check out the event. Get your tickets at, I think it's stjamesji.org. So just mark your calendars for that. If you're in the Charleston area, I will also be at the Cynthia Hurd Library Meet Your Community event. I will be there talking about how we can authentically master our lives, and we will be going over practical tips on how you can be your best superhero, how you can live on purpose and use your passion to create a profit. And we will also talk about how you can up-level the relationships in your life. And then also this month, I will be speaking with Urban Masterclass. I am the business strategist that will be teaching the locticians about business strategies that they can use to up-level and maximize their game in their natural hair care business. So I am really excited about the opportunities that I have, that God has been giving me. And I know that doors are continuing to open, and I just want to let you know, if you're listening to this and we are connected in any way, shape, or form, guess what? These opportunities are coming your way as well. If you're not already getting them, I want you to be expecting things to happen, because when you put your seed out there and you nurture it, trust me, it's going to produce a fruit. It might not produce it when you think it's going to produce, but that fruit will be produced. So shout out to St. James Presbyterian's Women Ministry. Shout out to the Charleston County Library and allowing me to speak at the Cynthia Hurd Library, and also shout out to Urban Masterclass. You can find all of these individuals on Facebook and Instagram, and you can support their missions and find out more about how you can get connected with them. So I just want to remind you of that. I also want you to check your calendars. We got some events that are coming up that I would love for you to participate in. We got some pop-up events. We got some other things that are coming down the pipeline. So I'm looking forward to meeting you in person, meeting you live online and virtually as well as in person. Just wanted to get that information out there. Now, I wanted to talk to you a little bit because, you know, we build heart equity. That's what we do. And today, excuse me, y'all, I wanted to talk with you a little bit about, I had a conversation with a business owner recently, and it got me thinking about the mission that we often go after in life, and how we often go about our lives, and how we pursue success, and how we pursue esteem, and how we pursue what we consider wealth and riches and longevity and all of the things that many people are working and striving so hard to get. And one of the things I wanted to remind you about today is that you have to run your race and you have to stay in your lane. I've talked to you about that. But what I did not talk to you about is the type of race that you're running. This race of life, this is not a sprint. This is not a sprinting type race. This is not the track and field race where we're talking about just 100 yards or a 200-yard or even a 400-yard race. This race of life that we're running, this is a steeplechase. This is like if you ever ran cross country or you understand marathon running and long distance running. And on top of that, it's also like a baton 4x4 race. So it is a long marathon that is also it's ran in heats. So you have individuals that have gone on before us, your parents, your grandparents, their parents. They passed the baton on to you in some kind of way when you had life and you came into this earth, and now you will be in a position to pass this baton on to someone else, whether you have children or not. One thing I think people have a misconception is as if they can't leave a legacy, or they don't have a reason to be sowing seeds and leaving things behind if they don't have children. No matter who you are, your existence was designed to be known about. When God put you in this earth, you were put here to leave a marking place and a stepping stone to say, I was here. I did this thing called life. Now, the way we leave that mark is different for everyone. And I understand that, right? You know, one thing I thought about when I think about how am I leaving my mark in the earth, well, one way, I have more children. That's a big way. That's one way that I'm leaving my mark in the earth. But another way that I'm leaving my mark in the earth is every time I get online and do a video, every time I write a blog or publish a book, every time I publish a podcast or put my show on the radio, what am I doing? I'm leaving a legacy out in the earth. I'm letting people know that I existed, that I am here, that I lived, that I have a life. That's what I consider and I define as running your race. And you need to run your race. You need to put it out there. Maybe it's a recipe for you. Maybe it's an invention, right? Maybe for you, the legacy you're leaving is, maybe you don't have children of your own, but you love children and you have a passion for them. You're a child care worker. You're a teacher. You are some type of specialist of whatever type, right? I just need you to value what you have, because what you have is important. And that baton was designed to be passed. And one thing I know about running a race, and when you have someone, especially when I think about a 4x4, and I think about the Olympics, and I think about the men and women that I have grown accustomed to seeing running these races, it's like they really practice for their heat, right? They really practice for what leg they're running in the race. I remember hearing different commentators speak about how certain individuals are better at running in different heats of the race. So you might have somebody that's a gold medal winner or a silver medal winner, and they've ran, the fastest in the world. But when it's time for them to run in the relay, they may run first, second, or third, depending on what their strengths are. But they're running that way. Why? Because they're running their race. And when you run your race, then you can get better at determining what part of the race is strongest for you, what part of the race presents the most challenges for you. Like, you need to get to know yourself. And that's how you get to know yourself, by running your race and staying in your lane and running your leg of the race the best you can. Your leg of your race is your lifetime. You could also look at your leg of your race as a season in your life. It's so many ways that you can apply this, but the message remains the same. You got to run your race. And that's why I'm so passionate about building heart equity. Because I remember when I found out I was pregnant at 17 years old, and I was already out on my own, living on my own. Me, my best friend, her sister, like we were in an apartment. We were getting ourselves up for school and doing all of those things. And I remember when I found out I was pregnant, I felt so scared. I felt so doubtful. I felt so low. I felt like I can't do this. And I remember when I came to the conclusion that I knew I was going to have my daughter. And I didn't know it was going to be my daughter at the time, but I knew at that young age of 17 years old, I was going to have to run this race. Now, I didn't have this concept back then. I understood that, but I wasn't thinking about it like that when I was 17 years old and found out I was pregnant, and then find out my boyfriend, baby daddy, had another person pregnant at the same time I was pregnant. No, I didn't know what this lane was going to look like. But I did know that I had to run the race. And I did know that I had to stay in my lane. And I did know that there is a baton that I'm going to have to pass on. And that's why I'm thankful for my family. And I'm thankful for those who love me and care about me. Because one thing that was instilled in me from a child, I don't care what kind of challenges I went through. I don't care how the enemy got in at an early age and these negative thoughts of insecurity and low self-worth and low self-esteem crept in, because I was always taught that I was valuable. I was always taught that my voice mattered, right? Where the time came that was no longer true, that's why heart work came about, because I had to come back to the realization of who God said that I am. He looked at me and called me good. When I was formed in my mother's womb, my mother didn't plan me. My mother and father didn't sit down and say, oh, we want to have this baby, but they did, because God had a plan. So you might be doubting why you're here. You might be doubting why God is doing what he's doing in your life, but it really doesn't matter. He has a plan for your life. That's why you walk by faith and not by sight, because there's a plan for your life. That's why you have to understand that it's not going to be easy, but it's definitely fair. That's why you stay focused. That's why you don't give up. And I'm going to be talking more about running this race and staying in your lanes. But I really just wanted to come by today and share this with you. Don't give up. Don't quit. And do me a favor. Share this video with anyone that you think could benefit from it. Because remember, we're building heart equity, y'all. Because one thing I know is when you heal your heart, you absolutely transform your life. I love y'all. We'll talk soon.